Jesus said, "Man cannot live on bread alone, but from every word that proceeds from the mouth of God." You're listening to Daily Truth.
Psalm chapter 86 verse 8 says, "There is none like you among the gods." Now it's important for us to recognize that this verse does not intend to suggest that the gods are a legitimate category. This verse is not conveying the idea that there actually are, in an objective sense, other gods, but rather the psalmist is merely acknowledging that there are other gods as it pertains the perception of unbelieving, rebellious, pagan men. Now, these vain and fictitious gods are nothing. There is only one true God, and there is none like Him. He stands alone in the perfections of His essence. That's the term that the Puritans used to use. Not merely that God possesses attributes, even that is not really careful language when it comes to theology proper, our doctrine of God. God does not actually possess attributes. James Dolezal says this, that all that is in God is God. So like 1 John says that God is love. Well, the reality is that we can say that God is love and God is justice, that God is holy, that God is mercy. All that is in God is God. In philosophical terms, we might say this, that God is a simple being. It's the doctrine of divine simplicity. God is not simple in the sense that He's finite or small or easy for us to comprehend, but in philosophical terms, He is a simple being. What that means is that God is not divisible. All right? This is what both the Westminster and the 1689 Confessions of Faith say, that God is a most pure spirit without body, parts, or passions. Without body, parts, or passions. God is not divisible in parts. To use a bit of a crude illustration, God forbid if you had to have your left arm amputated, you would still be you. By missing a certain part of your body, you would not lose your core identity. You would still be you. But there is no portion, as it were, no part of God that could be severed or separated, divided from God without God Himself ceasing to be God. God is not divisible. God is not composed of parts. And so in that sense, in philosophical terms, God is not a complex being, but God is a simple being. He's not divisible by parts. And so, the Puritans used to say, rather than God possessing characteristics or even possessing attributes, which is a perfectly fine way to speak of God, but the Puritans preferred the term perfections. That God stands alone in His perfections. And these perfections are the perfections of His essence, His power, His wisdom, holiness, justice, mercy, and love. Psalm 86 verse 8 further goes on to say, "Nor are there any works like yours." So there are no other beings beside you. There is no one, no person like you among the gods. But not only that, there are no works, there are no accomplishments, there are no deeds like yours. As God has no equal in His essence or His nature, He likewise has no equal in His works. The works of God's creation and providence and the works of His redemption and grace are unparalleled throughout all of history. Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 15 and 16 says this, "These idols are worthless, a work of delusion, fantasy, imagination. At the time of their punishment, they shall perish. Not like these is he who is the portion of Jacob. For he is the one who formed all things, and Israel is the tribe of his inheritance. The Lord of hosts is his name." Our God stands alone in both his essence, his nature, his character, as well as his deeds, his wondrous works.
Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would consider supporting Right Response Ministries, we'd be incredibly grateful. You can do so by going to rightresponseministries.com/donate to give your gift of any amount. If you're not able to support us financially, that's okay. You can still support us in a great regard simply by subscribing to our YouTube channel, clicking the bell, and of course sharing our content with all your friends and family. We can't do this without you, your support, and your prayers. So thank you.